In this Group A upper bracket final, G2 versus Gambit squaring off, and this action is delivered to you by Sponge and Machine.
Thank you very much, boys. Gambit G2. Been given this gift. Looking forward to seeing how the Counter-Strike does fare. Nafany, who didn't know he was going to be able to bring this form to LAN in such an incredible way. Next is going to be the receiving end of this very early dip into the A side of the map, and they're up. They're crossing, and they're on towards that triple side, catching a bullet to the dome. He'll be on notice for the rest of this one, and just a matter of time before that bomb goes down. U2, they want to take CT before they do choose to contest for the plant, and 3 CTs here for it. Bomb now ticking. Rushley joining us for the observational goodness. Weird, look at the nade. Double HE, and Nexus the one to draw blood. G2 starting to corral now, and Eco from ramp late. He clears it. Oh, he doesn't clear out Nafany, and that was a crucial frag to find. It's going to be hard to force the fight, but everyone else starting to drop. Nafany's not done. Smoke on the bomb, more headshots. Shiro this time draws blood. Oh, and Shiro's not going to stop. He's not going to stop for anyone. 3 straight out of the gate. They're looking sharp. Look at him. Ooh, did you see that?
Yeah, getting them now in this little booth environment right here. It's going to be interesting to see the team getting fired up. And in the middle, just to know, we've been keeping in-game leader watch. It's actually Inters that they've placed within the middle of the pack here, so that's quite a little curious maneuver there. But Shiro, great way for him to start things off. That P250 lying in wait. That smoke could have been a problem, but completely denying the cross, and 3 headshots making that one look crispy. Get back underway here as Nafany is looking loud and looking proud. We love to see that early.
I mean, they've just got so much to prove, and I think
don't they?
Just to themselves, never mind everyone else. Interesting, 3, and they actually boost 2 up towards ladder early, Chad. What do you make of that?
We're going to be able to stop this if it is a bit of a B split here, but right now, just working the default through. Gambit, the anti-eco, or the anti-force buy as it were, has Nafany up close and personal. You're going to see more and more of this. One of the wild men, him and Art, we know how much those two love getting stuck in for the entries, at least finding space for their team. They've actually decided to go back towards the B bomb site here. So grouping up with Axile, who's ahead of the pack. Hobbit will park the bus in middle. It will be Jax towards the back of this bomb site. He has that deagle in hand and a smoke with a kit. So if he drops this smoke, oh, actually very well timed. Nafany will disrespect. He's being spotted. Deagle shot through. It's going to draw Hunter over as well. The stack is looking great here for G2.
Oh, and it's even better now. Nexus caught a real mid-range engagement. Mid-prong down, another in the feed. Jax is the... And this commitment starting to shape up nicely. Haven't cleared Hunter. He's gone unchecked, and Trigger Discipline currently being deployed. Nico's Deagle has found another, and he surely got to play with fire there, Hunter. Nico's in the apps. They've jumped past him. Inters with the bomb. Now, this is a 3v2 that Inters may want to actually go looking for this frag into Kitchen first. Prior to getting the bomb down, he lingers for 18 seconds. He's not got time for this. And so the bomb will start to go down. The element of surprise. Hunter closes the gap, and now problem, big problem. G2 return the favor right into the stack.
Wow, I can't believe how long Hunter just bided his time there. That was phenomenal stuff. Look, that could have all gone wrong, especially if the bomb pushed in towards the checkers position, was able to get the kill, and then they tried to take the bomb over towards A. So great stuff there from G2 while under pressure. And it felt like they read that. That boost up in towards the vent room with 2 players, that paid off in dividends here, as it meant they could have so many members over towards the B bomb site. And here we go again, the force spike coming out from Gambit here to contest. They're not going to slow this one down. Over towards the B bomb site again, plenty of utility to make this one happen. Smokes are already being lined up. Hobbit towards the underpass. And it is just Jax again towards the back of the site. This time doesn't have as much help close by.
Jax down, and they're just going to flood in. The nade looks promising, but they're going to still be pushing through. Yeah, damage inflicted. Hunter keeping him at arm's length right now with that Galil. He seems to be controlling that spray nicely as he builds up his CZ. Oh, and actually does dismantle another Hobbit caught on the drive-by. The rest now just falling into place. They chip away at what little remains. It's only Inters. That bomb will not go down. Okay, looks like G2 have won the wrestling for control of this early economy.
Yeah, the force buy wars have been won here, and that's a chance for G2 to establish their 3rd round right now. No plant. Means that they will have to be humbled over there on the Gambit esports side of things. Just going to see the Glocks coming out here. Not a single upgrade purchased on in just yet. And it will stay that way. No flash, nothing to work with here. So this might be one of those eco rounds where we do see them just run down the clock. Hunter straight in towards this underpass position. Might have an opportunity to take the fight early. Piers on up, spots the jiggle. His position has been noted. A lot of smoke's already dropped here. Take a look at the radar. You can see 3 of which lie. There's $900 already spent from that bank account. Will need to be reinvested into next round. And this is what Gambit do best, right? Just taking their time, making sure they're able to whittle down any cash they can. Aggression again. Hunter looking in towards top mid. Will find the back of Hobbit's head. Shiro's destroyed as well. Walking into the line of Nexa. Inters. Now it's just 2 remain. Nafni and Axel here. Interesting to see Gambit decide to start on the T side of G2's map choice. Obviously, we know that it is a CT bias map, only just. Curious choice there. Pushed on up. Nafni goes down. And look, maybe that has something to do with the big game against G2 the other day, right? Where big, they managed, what, 1 CT side around, and we saw a lot from that T side of G2. So Gambit think if we start on the T side here, we can maybe try and avoid that type of a massive haul. And now we're about to get the guns underway. No AWP for Shiro here. Round number 5. AKs are out. Hunter can hold on to that MP9. He is doing so. He was doing so. AWP picked up, so he's going to find himself with an upgrade into the FAMAS there. Amanek gets to pick out that big green, so a slight upgrade out of spawn, and away we go. Smoke towards Cat, one towards window. Amanek is about to be denied. That one blooms. He gets a nade off in time. It's looking like they want to head towards A.
3 Palace, like water falling out Palace. Not sure how well this one will shape up. Current responsibility divided between Nexa.
Look where Axel is. He's walked up for free.
No one's contested it.
At all.
No, and if he gets jungle, this is a real weird one.
Amanek's going to die.
No way, yeah, Amanek's the first to fall. A giant gap in connector. They had the read. Nafni just crawls straight in. A nice attempt from Nico, just the one posted. Gambit have the sight. And it looks like they'll take the round as well. That came far too easy. Just a big gap, and Axel jumped straight through the hoop.
It didn't feel like they were going to have any mid-presence whatsoever. The fact that Axel just walked up for free, all of my attention was turned over towards Palace at the A site. That's where I thought the biggest biff was going to go down, and Nafni made short work there, just strafing on out. It will be 2 to find. It is just Jax and Hunter. And look, they have a FAMAS and a Glil respectively. Axel's denying that AWP from the hands to be saved on through. Might want to give that one to Shiro in the next round. A little bit of friendly fire, and you see the smile on the face of Nafni there. Having a bit of a giggle, and that's the good signs. It's good to see them in a good mood.
Yeah, trying to keep the vibrations high. Straight into the first gun round, and you convert like that. I mean, also worth mentioning, Axel, you know, currently being outperformed by Nafni, but in the online realms here, he was their saving grace. He was their savior in so many different circumstances.
Yeah, if we get that Axel that we know and love here in this game, and you consider that Nico's currently the highest rated player in the tournament, in the top 5 as well, or rounding out the top 5 is Hunter. You think about the aim, the mechanical ability in the server right now, we might get an absolute banger in terms of just the shots in the server. Now the buy, there's no problems over there for G2. They had that buffer, they had that freebie, their cash is looking plentiful. And they will be bringing in the AWP for Amanek one more time. Their buy is looking good, there's plenty of kits. Smoke towards the catwalk again. Molly in window to deny a smoke, but there won't actually be one thrown. So that's $600 there that doesn't actually give them too much. Gambit are opting for this slower approach one more time. But there is an early indication if they want to head towards A or B. Good information from Nexa early, and he's tucked in aggressively in towards that Palace position. So if Gambit do try and reinitiate, that's a hard angle to clear, and Nexa should be good for at least one. But warning shots now in middle. 8 exchanged, Hobbit down to 59. And they're just feeling each other out at this point. Getting to that minute mark. We'll need to start seeing an indication from Gambit as they're combing through this mid control there. Util will land, vision denied for Nico. Still no contact whatsoever.
Yeah, no, this time just sailing through middle. Nafni's got nothing to report. Smoke lands on short side, acknowledging the gap. Nico posted up this time for that window jump through. Currently floating around ladder as well. But returning their forces to A. Next a push Palace, Amanek to receive ramp. They're running real light on util. They cannot just play for the retake. They have to contest right out of the gate, and that's what the positioning of Nexa and Amanek implies. Looks like this is going to be the go. 2 from mid, 3 from ramp. Amanek needs to contest this. He's checking mid for now. Conceding that, and already up Tetris. He's going to have a lot to contend with. Hobbit beheads him. Twice Amanek has fallen in these gun rounds.
Time's a problem here.
Perhaps can deny this plan.
The plan. Yeah, that's it.
Perhaps they're both on sandwich. Exposes himself, bomb's going down, Shiro contests, and just like that, Gambit have taken the A site late. Oh, it's falling into place. Absolutely perfect. Not much more they can do. Last is the Hunter as he gets dunked, flash, and swing, and just like that, Gambit, all across the map, convert.
That just looked perfect.
Yeah, it did.
Everything right there looked perfect. The fact that they were mindful of Palace in that situation, you know that Nex is traditionally playing over towards that site. So their awareness to go, oh, we haven't found contact with the rifler just yet. Let's worry about that Palace position. He was the only way that the plant could have been denied, and maybe that one falls into chaos. But instead, Gambit keep all 5 members alive. And look, we call some rounds clean. That one was bloody clean. There wasn't a single moment where it looked threatening for a single Gambit member. Absolutely mental stuff here to tie things up at 3-3.
We've seen already that G2 seem to want to play a more passive setup, at least early, giving Gambit a lot of room to run that clock down. Hunter boosted up with this M4.
Yeah, that's quite curious, isn't it? So if he's able to unravel things here, the silenced M4 might give him an extra chance on those early shots. They're a little bit more forward here, but again, Gambit are looking for this type of hijinks. Any aggressive mid, any pushes through the underpass, their slower approach, it automatically deals with that. And now Nafany, he'll be looking into this realm. When will Hunter pick up? Oh, was that spotted? I think so. Nade comes out, Nafany goes down, and that's an opening. This might thrust Gambit fast forward in towards this A site as all 4 members are starting to gather now.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter's starting to hedge his bets as well, so that M4 will be at least able to respond. Contest just a little.
Well, they're creeping out Tetris quiet here.
If Nexa takes a look, he will go down. He's got to hold his nerve here. They could molly him out. Dark instead, filled with flame. And here comes the push. Chance nullified. Hunter again in the feed though with that M4, that single rifle. 2 frags to the good, and it looks like an AK has been recovered. Amanek picks up Nafany's weapon, then yet to commit. A swing from Axel looking for heads. Amanek spotted out. Nico got close to contest, and Sharp a second as well. Nico's dig is potent! Potent enough for the double. And that's the end of that. Wow, a hero rifle. A triple from Hunter, and the Kovac combined is all 5. The cousins hitting headies.
That one was sharp right there. Great stuff to defend.
And I will say, I don't think there's a world where Hunter could have done that on his own. Nico had to step up to play. Amanek's AK did nothing. Nico getting both of them is the only reason they post a 4th. Go G2.
You could see the pressure there as well. They wanted to clear out connector because some of the problems when you're down in numbers like that, sure, you can throw out that little bit of limited utility they had late to isolate some of the choke points, but you just don't have enough players to cover off all the angles. So Gambit did the right thing in taking the fight to G2, but Nico just too good with those shots. And that was all facilitated by that 4v5 opening from Hunter on the boost. So a nice little maneuver there from G2, and that's what you need to have in the back pocket. When the chips are down, you find yourself a kill like that, especially against default spreads. That's one of the problems with a default spread is if you get picked off early, it's a bit harder to get that trade. Timeout immediately in response here from Gambit, talking through the options. Money not the problem, just the approach. They want to go for something quicker, maybe something with a bit more direction to set the pace early in the stages here of map number 1. Freeze time subsides and away we go, and I think that pace, well, it's quite clear as they're heading back over for what is looking like more of a default spread.
Yeah, but they got both Hunter and Nico ready to at least receive anything early mid. It might mean they're also an early warning system to support Jax. Currently alone on B. Nico starting his progression. Hobbit through the underpass. Currently held. Going to be quite a hard duel for both of them. Hobbit's on his way, and Nico, ooh, just shy of the mark. It's Hobbit that will draw blood first. And I think he spots him out. Nade looks promising. Chunk onto Nafany. They're up mid, though. 4 members of Gambit on this side of the map, and it looks like they are just going to pull the plug on that.
That seemed way too easy again, right? When they're given this space and the kill just doesn't fall in the favor of G2 early, the heads are ripped off. Hobbit with a clean one. Same for Axel. And now he's crept up and has full connector control. They can just pincer back over towards this A bomb site, which has been gifted for free here. Amanek's on a passive line. He cannot contest against Axel if he stays here. And the other three of them, into Shiro and Nafany, are just walking up in towards this site. The gamble stack from G2, it has at least a positive. They'll get to hold on to these rifles, but they've stacked the wrong site here and they should be losing round number 8. We'll find ourselves tied up 4-4 one more time. The utility now signals that. And G2 know that they've gambled incorrectly and still crossing their T's, dotting their I's. Gambit are taking no risks here, covering off Palace until Hobbit comes through and clears. Now the bomb can go down in an open position. Axel has the jungle rotation. Inters is babysitting through that tiny little gap from Sandwich towards CT. Perfect stuff here from Gambit again. And how much do they want to hunt? Hobbit is already on the move. Nafany's joining him as well. Wouldn't be a bad idea just to get 1 or 2 players to babysit the bomb just in case, but they are starting to have a look in for a hunt. Now, Jax is passive on the site over towards B. Amanek is pushed up towards Cat with that AWP. Doesn't feel like he's moved at all this round, and Nexa has the flank from the Checkers position. Bomb now almost about to explode. It doesn't seem likely they will be taking any of the guns out of the G2 Esports players' hands. Nafany's the one having a look here, gets into a fight with Jackson. Yeah, that'll be it. All right, well, 4-4, guns are held, and back underway we go. Now, there aren't any problems again for G2 to get a buy. They've really adopted what we've seen Gambit doing for the better part of, the last 6 to 9 months. Just saving, playing the percentages, getting themselves out back with another full buy. They've felt competitive in all of these rounds, whether it be that Hero M4, whether it be a couple of little upgrades. And this is really the round right here. Those 2 kills. It looks simple, but it's definitely not.
Yeah, Hobbit just breaks through the double mid aggressive setup. They're going for something a bit different here. Early A, you can see a smoke of Rye on mid, but at this point, Jax is just holding in the off angle. Smoke to contain ramp for now. It's Shiro, though, might crawl into this. It should favor the AWP. Jax is playing with fire here. Crouch peek in. Oh, baited nicely. Jax, surely not a double. He does dink. Hobbit lives on, 10 HP. The bomb spotted as well. G2 can scramble. Bomb scooped up. Shiro on retreat. Juggling weapons as best he can. Always keeping an eye on the best possible maneuver. And with Hobbit dinked down just to 10 HP, he is the source of a lot of their nades alongside with Shiro.
Nico's not looking.
Not again. Axel gets the better of him. We're straight back into a 3v3. He can just roam. Look at the amount of space he's taking. He's heading towards the B side of the map. Up short, good movement from him. The rest just parked the bus. Letting Axel work his magic, get some info, force Amanek to at least respect his presence B. Doesn't look like Hunter's willing to bite the bait. He's waiting for Amanek's call.
All the timing on this. Axel's got him. Axel surely has it here.
Chance. There's the shutdown. Amanek will neutralize. Nothing else to report, which implies Nex is in the right place. Shiro's the healthy one. Would love a chance onto Hunter. Can't quite get the spray down, and Hobbit just doesn't have the health for this. He'll go to Nexa, and we've got ourselves a G2 consecutive. That actually takes the lead. 5 in total. And looked like Axel had done enough to at least claw it back into contention there.
I thought he had done Amanek on the timing there, right? Because you saw Amanek coming through the Checkers position scoped up at the same time as Axel had already got past that line of sight. So I thought he was going to tuck in close towards the kitchen, hope that somebody would rotate through and should have the better of him, but wasn't sure exactly that CT-sided setup. But once again, no problems with the buys. Lacking a little bit of utility here over on the Gambit side, but no real dramas to account for, as they've gone back into this exact same setup. Hobbit dealing with underpass, Axel dealing with the B push, Shiro and Nafany, the duo towards top mid, and Inters, well, he's been left with the hefty task of covering off A ramp and the Palace push. But one more time, it's the cousins just both posted with their aim, one looking down towards underpass, the other towards top mid, and will they find the entry this time round?
Oh, Nico crosses out. Same angle Hobbit bested him in previously. They want to make this work. Amanek, if he misses his shot, Nico's a dead man. Hobbit makes it clear here where he's coming from, and here they come. Baits the shot, Shiro misses. Nico's got a lot to contend with. Multiple targets, too many angles. Amanek at least claws it back. Axel's working his magic towards B again. The lone wolf, roaming loudly out of the apps. I think Jax aware of this. Ooh, not far off. Needed that one. The M4 does sing. And Shiro walking straight into the cross. Amanek's not going to let that go. Just the one remaining. Looks like G2 should be able to make this 6 here. Bomb at least scooped up. 2-1 split of the resources remaining. Both of these players are tagged. Inter's going to cut noise. He hasn't got all day, 25. As he takes his first fight. Jax again, passing his test, looking good.
Yeah, good shooting there from Jax, right? I think that initial fight against Axel was the most important one to do so, and then one at a time. After that, it felt like a little bit strange to see them going one at a time, but I think what Shiro's thinking is he can maybe beat that rotation, but they had already started to hedge. G2 already had a few members over towards that bomb site, so Amanek was there to deal with that, making sure that fight couldn't be isolated, and Gambit will be calling their second timeout here to now have a discussion, because that money that we were talking about, well, it's no longer flush. Gambit are looking like they have a choice. Do we want to go for a force fight, or do we want to go for an eco? 2,400 is the loss bonus going into the next round. They would love a bomb plant here. And this back and forth in mid, it looks like with the kill feed that it was super chaotic, but it wasn't. Those fights were relatively strung out. They were trading off of each other. They had a little bit of time to work with, and G2 come out on top of it in a big way.
But G2 making it very clear that they will contest mid. You're not going to get it for free. You're not going to be able to have your 3-4-man setup just contact through middle. And as I say that, G2 once again going to have Hunter short, Nico connector side, and it is just going to be, what, a P250, a flashbang? There's really no universe where I see a bomb plant going down for Gambit here.
Yeah, which is definitely the key for a round like this. So if they wait out the clock again, sure, they can make sure that reinvestment, we've already spoken about it once today, for that utility for G2 will be in the mix. But look at this passive setup. In the previous rounds, G2 have been playing more forward and middle against the rifles, right? They've been taking those fights. They've been a little bit more aggressive because, look, in those duels, they're more than happy to go head-to-head. Gambit aren't using a lot of utility when they've been clamping out. But now that they know that they're likely up against a low buy, they're playing it safe. They have two players locking down the B apartments. They have the passive retake A setup. There's no need for them to go for the aggression and give anything up in a round like this. So by the book, G2 looking good here and looking good for their 7th. Will be the B pincer, and that is going to be straight into Hunter and Jax. We already prefaced the fact that they are paired up here, and this off angle from Jax with the jump of Hunter will just bait them on in. Watch him mow them down in. They come. Jax gets the first. The flash comes through. Hunter will have no dramas with this one.
Yeah, he's got about 10 more bullets to find that last player, and he'll do just that. Lovely stuff. No complaints, an M4 upgrade, and a 7th for the G2 Samurai.
Now this is where we might see Gambit go for a bit of a pace change, right? Because they know that when they're coming out late mid, it is into that more aggressive prong of the Cousins. They're using their aim. That's their best attribute, I would say. They obviously have fantastic Counter-Strike brains, but the mechanical ability is on point, and they're more than happy to take those fights, which you don't see out of too many teams. Smoke towards top mid again. Molly towards connector, and it's a different approach here on the CT side. It's set up. Two players, Nexa and Nico, about to get close towards this ramp. Inters is about to have company. Nice defensive Molotov there. That does deny that space, and even a sound cue heard. So they know that this aggressive play is in. Does that signal for the rest of Gambit to start working on territory elsewhere? It doesn't look like it. They stand like statues.
Last cannon for Shiro. Just posted up, holding that mid push for now. And as you already described, G2 foregoing mid in exchange for the contest ramp.
I feel like G2 are reading them quite heavily here because Gambit haven't really won out these fights in mid all that cleanly. And now G2 are well aware that if they go back in, that same setup could be in play. So it's just Nafny going mid on his own. Oh, dearie me. Nico's just walked in.
Yeah, next one's more. This is crazy. He takes them both. Round winning from Nexa. He bided his time and he strikes at the perfect moment just as Nico beheads the Palace presence. More to come. Axile. Oh, not going down without a fight. And if he finds Nico, we are onto something. Not going to happen. Nice find. Bomb still loose. The round secured. Nafny just disconnected from the pack. He's up short. No paddle, no hope. And Hamanek confirms it. 8 on the defense. They take the half. That's a win for G2.
All right, well, this one is really starting to shape up nicely here. Take a look at the round timeline. You had Gambit win the pistol. A big part of this, a big component for G2 was winning that force buy in the second. And since there, it's only been dribs and drabs of rounds for Gambit. That first gun round they put on the board, it looked too easy, right, with Axel just walking up connector and punishing them in the back. And well, this time round, it's all changing. And this is what I'm talking about with G2 reading them. That play right there to not be mid-heavy, that was the entire, I would say, game plan of earlier to dissuade them from just going for their more mid defaults.
Ahead of the util. almost all of it. Anthony, $700 pistol in his hands and his fair share of nades on the nose. That's going to leave him a bit shaken. 26 points of health, not much more he's going to be able to do on this early presence. Abs, they have walked out mid. No one's home. No Nico, no Hunter, no mid defense.
It might get awkward here for Amanek for a moment, right? He has to be in limbo between checking between connector and worrying about the window boost. Hunter's going to make it impossible for them to get up towards the vent room. So that's one nice little helping hand. The smoke that's about to drop towards connector. Oh my god, it's a little bit late. Hobbit's already up.
Oh, and Hobbit hits a scorcher. A taste of his own medicine there. Nico catching a deagle bullet to the dome. This is where Amanek cannot be baited. Oh, Hobbit, what are you up to? He jiggles enough, pulls the trigger, does draw them in. Nice work from Hunter, but Inter's Deeg works too. Jax can bail G2 out here. They can't let this one slip. All that hard work. And he's trying to defend his honor here with the USP. Will finish it off, but good God, Hobbit reminds them what they're up against.
Whew, that almost got out of control there for a second or two. It was just Gambit going into the stack. The fact that Hunter and Jax were still over towards that B bomb site bowed them out in a big way. Hobbit's massive shots right there. And here's that streak of rounds on the board. We're looking at 5 in a row here. Would be 7 in a row to close out the half to get them an 11-4 scoreline and looking very, very good at G2. Here we go. The guns are back out. Gambit need to start making a bit of noise in this one. Shiro's getting proactive, looking for a pick over towards that A ramp. Amanek now postured forward in middle. Another different look from this G2 CT side.
They love this underpass. Hunter's actually just jumping for the info. He could lose his head if he's not careful. Making no secret about that. Strafes in. Nico again with the shutdown. He's being run down. Chipped away out onto Axel. Hunter's nade successful.
Oh, there's a big gap in that window smoke, I think. Yeah, huge. Hunter, he profits off of that. Axel goes down towards underpass again, and now it's just 2 remaining. Where's the trade potential from Gambit? They're getting owned right now.
They are. And you mentioned reads. It definitely does feel like G2 have done their homework coming into this. Both the conversation about the maps as well as, of course, the execution. Mirage. Shiro. Oh, he actually tagged him through the wood.
Jax is about to find the bomb when he's pushed through B here as well, so Inters is screwed. They know he's up towards Palace. Jax has got T-spawn completely locked off. The loss bonus, 3,400 going into the next round. If they take this off of Inters late, which they should actually let the time transpire here and then kill him after the time. That would be the best that G2 could hope for in a moment like this.
They are posturing for it, right? 2 of them holding T-spawn Palace exit. Nexa as well, tucked in. They are starting to try and close the gap. Inters just to defend his honor here. This could really hurt. Shadow. Jiggle. Burst found, and now tucked in. They might wait time here. Jax is not in a hurry, but he will take it. Inters throws himself into the jaws. Avoids even more cruel fate.
Yeah, that would have been the most horrible way for Inters have to finish this first half. So, look, it's good that he dies, and I know that sounds counterintuitive with what we're doing here in Counter-Strike, but that means he has that cash to splash now, and the buy is going to be, well, rough is the best way to look at it for Gambit. You're going to see Galils, you're going to see Scouts, but not AK-47s across the board, and definitely no AWP for the likes of Shiro. But they've kept everybody on Gambit here to single digits, not a single player with 10 or more kills. The highest at the moment is Shiro and Axel with 7 apiece. But here we go. Gambit get anything. Can they salvage this half and make it a 10-5?
That's the question. Let's find out. Nico's tucked in on A here in support of Nexa. Hobbit walking up mid. This gap we saw, of course, Axel once exploit. I don't think it's ever going to be open again. And as I say that, it is currently actually wide open. If Hobbit fancied his chances, he'd be walking through Nexus, the closest to holding that line, as Rushley outlines. And trying to sell a bit of a fake here, Axel dumping util, and Nico it has pulled not only Nico away, he's back in CT now, but Nexa, oh, he's got a lot to do. Nico in the open, receives Inters. 2 of them have come up connector side, sandwich. 1. XR rejoins the pack, and about the 50-second mark as well. Still an incendiary to cause a bit of chaos. Nafany throws out his own bottle of flame, and there's nothing for Nexa to do but swing straight into Hobbit. 4-on-4. They need to flush them out of CT as best they can, or from flush to flash. They will throw one of those as well. Hobbit trying to clear out close. Nothing to report. It's the tight right they're opting for. And now, defending that plant. Bomb down default. G2 got a lot to do if they want to get back into contest for this 5th Gambit round. Every second that passes favors them further. High flash to push off the back of it, the intention. Bomb about half gone now, Chad, and even throwing out that CT smoke will enable them to cross in. Good find, but in the meantime, 2 from G2. Time-sensitive mission. They need to be on that bomb soon. Nafli biding time, but he's caught through the smoke. I think Amanek's got it. They're on it. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for Axar to deny him. They're just holding it right in front of his nose. It's G2 11 out of absolutely nowhere. They're just 5 rounds away. This Mirage, you can see the pick. They're justifying it with every frag. We'll take a quick break and be right back for Gambit G2 half 2.
Do you think you know everything about CSGO? Then stay alert and look out for the DHL drop quiz on the ESL CSGO Twitch channel.
Hey Future Pros, back with a more complex pro tip today which will help you establish presence at long on Dust 2. For this execute you will need 2 Future Pros. The utility required will be 2 smokes and 1 optional flash for this take. Future Pro number 1. To throw your smoke, you will need to line up with this metal bracket. Then find this corner and aim your crosshair so it lines up with the satellite antenna. Then throw. Future Pro number 2. You will need to line yourself up with this dark spot in the shadow of the car. Aim upwards and find the gap in the palm trees. Then position your crosshair so you're aiming just above that gap and throw. Optional Future Pro number 3. If you want to feel like a part of the team, you can stand at the back of the car and line up this flash towards the top of the doors, which will help your teammates get out of long. If the smokes have been thrown correctly, this will help you segment long and fully take control of pit.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. IEM Cologne 2021. We're in day 6, and this, no longer a spot in the playoffs, is up for the contention. This is for a spot in the semi-finals. The 2 top performers of the group. G2, clearly with a lot to prove. It's Gambit they're up against. Undisputed world number 1 from our online era. And here, after a 500-day hiatus, we've returned to LAN, and looks like G2 are looking to make a statement here on Mirage. I'm with Chad. Want to expect still, actually no, wait.
Flipped on over, yeah.
Flipped and flopped. G2 given a slight edge on that one. We're seeing 4 sets of Kev, Nafni on the kit watch. And they're charging into mid, they're charging into Axel. He is one of the sharpest in the Gambit shed. And look at the demonstration, especially on the pistol rounds. This is where Axel can just win the round on his own, lingering for more. Nico reminds him who he's up against as well. P250 recovered. It was good from Inters to really shut him down with just the one. Keeps him caged, and looks like Gambit are having no issues finding these headshots. Nexa walks straight on in. Loses his life to the Hobbit USP. Oh, sorry, the USP.
Spotted there, Amanex, and now it's just about damage here. How many can he take with him to the grave? Not looking good as Shiro pivots up connector. Amanek will fall, and that is the second pistol for Gambit, but it doesn't look that way with the current scoreline. Just want to make some notes about that first half, right? Entry frags or opening kills weren't really coming easily to Gambit. When they did, yeah, sure, they were able to convert a couple off the back of that, but it was the multi-frags that were really, really quite the problem. Gambit, as a team, in the first half had a total of 5. That was it. Just 5 multi-frags across all 5 of their members. If you take a little bit of a look at G2, across their team, they had a total of 19 multi-kills. So definitely handling Gambit in that regard. But they need to change that dialogue here and actually given a chance to get a buffer. This seems to be what we would consider these days as a full eco out of G2. Look, I know there's the Deagle, I know there's the P250 for Nico and Hunter respectively, but this is about as close as you get to a full eco in 2021. Now Gambit have to keep a round like this clean. They cannot sustain too much damage to this just small upgrade. A bomb plant, that could be nightmare fuel. We know that the AKs will be coming out in the next.
Got 3 SMGs as well. Should enable them to just stay dynamic, mobile. Potentially boosting into window, which Nafany will be happy to greet. Or at least setting up Hunter for success. Shiro's going looking.
Has to be so careful here.
Going looking. Jack's caught. Nico potential to trade here. The crosshair was there, but the frag is not. And looking like Gambit are not going to concede a thing here.
That's what they needed, a clean one. It's Amanek, last man alive yet again. Glock from range will do a bit more chip damage there to Shiro, but everybody stays alive. And, well, at least that facilitates Gambit to be in this bonus round position. We can see something a bit more quirky out of the 3 SMGs. They don't have to upgrade into those rifles. It does look like maybe they want to get the AWP out for Shiro here, and that will be the case. It's actually been dropped across. Take a look how much money Shiro has left over in his bank accounts. There's 5.6k, so next round, no matter what happens, there can be back-to-back Shiro AWPs. The buy's out for G2, a little bit light on utility for the likes of Nexa and Nico, but AKs for the majority here, and no vent broken, so keep that little canary in the coal mine activated. Faster mid control than what we saw out of Gambit. They've already taken top mid. Jackson Amanek, the Frenchman, paired together. Well, it's quicker scenes, but same result. They've taken the pace out of this after getting that control. More utility top mid to feign it out. Window smoked off. Flash as well. And a passive setup from Gambit. Axel and Inters deep towards B apps. That vent was broken. So now that is a problem because look where Hunter is right now. He can jump through that window, potentially come around through the vent behind. So remember that. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is a hard one. AKV Famas, Hobbit's holding. Does very well. Nearly 2. It actually is converted to 2. Amanek finishes what Hobbit started. Double on that ramp defense with only a Famas. You could not have asked for more from Hobbit. There's 3 CTs leaning on this direction. Shiro, a lot of uncertainty towards middle as well. Nico's actually going to drop a smoke jungle side, trying to maintain attention. It has pulled into deeper towards that CT angle. So if Hunter can jump through this hoop, they can isolate Axel alone completely and nullify the damage Hobbit has already inflicted. Hunter has yet to make a peep. He'll clear his corners. Oh, what a shot out of Nico. They both strike from the 2 extremities, and now Shiro and Inters on the complete wrong side of the map. A great mid-round reaction and correction from G2.
They've just gone into the apartments, which is going to tell me they're saving, which just feels like an absolute shame. This is a 2v2. They would have had to rotate it the entire round through, and or are they? Did they just change the call? Okay, they're making their way back over towards B now. That looked like it was just a save immediately, but they're coming on in. They're going to give this one a crack.
Yeah, they are, straight from short.
Ah. All right, boys. What are you trying to do? Come on now.
I'm just trying to make you look silly.
No, they're saving. Oh, they're not saving. Oh, they're saving again. Because immediately they both went towards Palace. I know that they wanted to get Inters and upgrade into an AK, but What?
I don't know.
Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. G2, great stuff. And again, the cousins, look, we keep saying it, but it is the two of them. Easier to lump them together with that terminology. Both of them get an entry onto either site, and that throws another round away from Gambit here. 12-6, G2 looking good.
Yeah, and that was inspired. You know, like the quickest reaction to that, leave Park Nico in Palace. You know he's probably good for one when he does choose to take contact. He makes as much noise and as much presence as he can. He smoked off jungle. You know he's still there. And just hits a cracker onto default, which only confirms their suspicions more. Axel looks the wrong way. Easy collection. And G2, yeah, overcome it. Run boost and a smoke, so they're doing their due diligence not to be caught out here. And I say that, Nafany does just catch a little whiff of Jax crossed over to the box. It's going to be naded down to 48 already. Axel wants to throw a second in there. Jax, oh wow, he refuses to bend the knee. It was an incendiary, not a nade. Do excuse me. So he can extinguish and survive. He's also taken that headshot. G2 can pause now. Look at that spread. Everything covered. But who blinks first?
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a rush at all right now. The fact that Hunter is just chilling under window like this and not moving, if he inches forward at all, Barrow will be spotted. Axel just calls top mid clear, and it's all LaRue. He steps on out, does get a kill, a very important one. Jax goes down, 4v4 now. Still just under a minute left on the clock, so plenty of time for G2 to work with as they drop their mid utility and apply a lot more pressure.
Yeah, and they're actually going to be present in mid behind these smokes they've just deployed. They've got about 10 seconds left to walk it through. Hobbit's pushed up ramp side, so it's only really Shiro that can contest this.
He's looking in the right place right now.
35 seconds. Axel starting to float back to A as well. Previously short, he hears it. Confirms his suspicions, waits and bides his time, collects onto Hunter. 3-on-3, 25 seconds. They need to knock Hobbit off his perch, and a good trade. Amanek provides Nico to support him. Shiro should be able to deny this plant, though. Nico playing with fire on the tight line. Waves out, he lives to tell the tale, and Nico actually catches into as they know where Shiro is. This just turned completely on its head.
Oh, we know what Shiro does in these situations. It's going to be the classic save. He's just backed off immediately. He doesn't have a defuse kit to work with, would have to pick one up, and he's hoping that they're not pushing any closer. G2 again, it looked like they were in the dumps after that early exchange was good. The trade from Axel, fantastic. But in moments where you'd normally see the likes of Axel or Hobbit get two, they both only got one. Right? Axel, as they were running past him, right, look, I know in total that Axel got 2 kills in the round. I'm talking from that jungle position. He's picked out. Normally he'd grab that second kill. This time he didn't. Hobbit from A ramp, he gets one, but only one.
True.
So great trading here from G2. That is facilitating a lot of these moments. And yeah, that save from Shiro, we know what happens, right? We know that they put such a premium on that AWP.
Didn't Shiro, and do correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he used to be like way ahead in these 1vx stats?
These clutches that we're talking about, right? Especially at the start of the year with IEM Katowice, I think a lot of that was Gambit's playstyle helping facilitate some of that, and a lot of the situations he was left in may have been, no clutch is easy to convert, right? I don't want to take it away from Shiro, but some are easier than others.
Yeah.
And I think he may have had a couple of those on his plate. So Gambit right now will be taking yet another timeout. They have one remaining here, but they're running out of rounds. That's the bigger issue, not the timeouts indeed. Money, well, they're getting a buy together. Famus's that AWP carried across. But this is where we're at desperation stations for Gambit. Out of rounds, almost out of money. And G2 are making this look way too easy. I thought the game against Big said more about Big than it did about G2, but we're learning a lot here. This is the top dog Gambit, #1 team in the world. Undisputed. G2 Esports, they're here to play all year. They have not beaten Gambit. They've taken one map, that's it. They keep getting beaten in the series. Well, this is a great start, a huge leg up.
And if you're wondering why, you know, Malek in every single camera we cut to from G2 is still got a furrowed brow and a concentration station adopted, it's because this, as you just said, is not a familiar territory for G2 up against Gambit. If the last year is anything to go by. Run boost over. Max tucked in. Flawless execution so far.
Need something inspired here out of Gambit. Somebody needs to step up in a big way.
Oh, that'll do, Hunter. That'll do. Wide step. Spots out the AWP. Not a bullet fired, though, and he lives to tell the tale, so that's something.
It is a lot of information, right? It means now that G2 can either use more utility to push that position back or pivot elsewhere. And Axel, still very brave, just lingering around towards this vent room. G2 will get this mid control.
Axel, lot to do from Ladder. Finds him, Dink exchange, double though for G2 in the feed. Hobbit doing damage, that's on A, but they're going B. Jax has met Hobbit's FAMAS, so it does mean that these two descending lower. Maybe I spoke too soon about the B, actually. With 30 seconds left, they would be going for a very ambitious return to A. This is going to be interesting. 2 flashbangs on Nico to try and make space. And they're just going to charge in. Hobbit, here's them, beheads one. The flash is eaten up. That should give him at least a bit of space for that bomb to go in. Second flash, long range, needs this tap, needs it, finds it. Maybe Nico could do more. 2 to find. Gambit dancing around the box with him. He's got elevated positions. One's an AWP, one's a rifle. Damage inflicted, he's just too low. Shiro will finish it, and Gambit, a must-win round, recovered.
Oh, that one got dicey again. Hobbit actually getting that kill through the smoke as they were running up Cat, stalled out that B take, and for good reason as well. It actually helped G2 to get back into the round, because if they keep running in towards that B site, that rotation was there. This, at the tail end of this, you can see Nico just trying to jiggle around the boxes, and it's so annoying. Look at the jiggles, they're just peppering. They're not committing to that frag until they know that they can win it. Nico at that point holding down the trigger, gets converted, and Nafany trying to fire up the troops at this point. But there's still a very, very long way to go. And you can see the frustration there from Nico. Look, he knows that could have been 14. He knows that could have been the economy in the absolute bin for Gambit and a real chance to apply some punishment. But on the other side, now they need to have a conversation. You can all see the money situation here. There is enough to bring out an AK if they want to try and apply more pressure to Gambit, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, right? Gambit's buy not great either. They have an MP9 on Inters. There's the AWP out, the rifles for the rest, the util is there, but the economy not built just yet. So any pressure they can apply, here it is. They've bought 2 AKs, and this is great. I love that G2 are really trying to keep the fight, keep that pressure on. There is the flip side of this. If Gambit are able to withstand a buy like this, they can really get themselves back in this game, but hard work, hard yakka still to be done.
Yeah, might be seeing some pace behind this as well. Seeing them charging at this point in time towards the apartments. Inters and Axel are going to be setting themselves up. Just a lurk smoke dropped out early. Pulls out some of the B util.
Yeah, they dumped a bit there. Molly nades, a little bit more, and even more utility as well, keeping so many busy. Shiro's off of middle. It's just Nafany. Oh, and this is the classic. They're going to boost Hunter up towards window. Oh, spotted.
Perfect hold. Nafany's not letting any funny business. And that's an AK. He reports. There's more than we bargained for here, folks. The weapon's completely unretrievable as well. So G2, they've just had the win taken from their wings. Starting to regroup. Welcome GL on B.
How has Amanek just walked past 2 of them? Axel towards short, and he walked past the window line of Nafany. Madness there, but they're retooling back towards this B bomb site, and it is just Inters on his lonesome here. Axel can support from short. Nafany might want to get a pivot on here, and Inters is hoping he catches something on one of these jump peaks. He's dropped his smoke, and that is actually going to allow G2 to work closer behind it. They have a Molotov, they have a flash. There's enough utility for an explosive play, but Axel, meantime, pushing up mid, closing the door on this. The avenue would be back through underpass. Time starting to become an issue here. About 30 seconds on the clock. Nafany's rotated over. Gambit are reading this.
Yeah, they got themselves a 2-2 split. Axel's gone T-spawn. So at least he's going to be as far away as possible if they can get through this Nafany and Inters setup. Loud now. Inters got a lot to do. They're all not looking. He's triple kill from the SMG. And what is he supposed to do now? Amanek would need Nafany. Now the bomb's in apps. He can't even retrieve it in time. Just going to look to do some damage. Shiro denies any more. And as you discussed, the other side of that G2 initiative and investment is that this gap now will close.
Yeah, opportunity here to get themselves up to 9 rounds. Gambit indeed. Money not there, no plant. Maybe a couple Deagles, maybe a couple P250s, and we know what the Deagles of Nico can do, so make sure we keep our eyes on him. But this is great from Inters. Even has a warning sign that he's there, so at that point, because he fires, he's almost committed to stepping on out. Eventually gets traded, but the fact that he gets 3 kills, that is round winning, simple as you like. And here you can see the investment. Nothing whatsoever. No Deagle, no P250. Nafany having a bit of a looky-loo now. He's got an MP9, seeing if he can pull off similar antics as Inters just did.
Watch him pluck him out of the sky here. Ooh, counter straight mid-air. Yeah, this one's just a formality. One more to go. Easy as that. 3, though, on the MP9. Nafany 6,400 coming into round 23.
And Nafany inspecting the bodies there, seeing if there's a pistol upgrade into, but also it helps, you know, just to know what they're investing in. As the in-game leader, keeping tabs on that, a very important thing to do.
Checking their pockets, seeing what they can find.
Shaking them down. Well, here we go. AWP out for Amanek now. Looks like Nafany will be holding onto this SMG, and he's been fantastic in this tournament, the highest rated player for Gambit so far. Let's see what he can do, see if he can cause any dramas right here, right now. Lots of util towards mid. This might get sticky.
Amanek fires off the shot. T-side AWP straight into Shiro, and he's ready to receive. Just posted up on the swing, had the sound cue to anticipate, and now again G2 have to forego that early man disadvantage.
Hard to tell if that was a missed window smoke coming in just there, because we can see one, it's just faded, it was below the window, or if that was one that Gambit dropped out in all of that madness. So if it was a missed window smoke, Amanek's going to be kicking himself, and that one really hurts. That dink puts him on notice, but Axile, the bodyguard, Shiro's best mate, there to back things up and keeping this one with the number advantage now, 3-5.
Axile could put his head in the vice there. Nico starting his own project, but look how pushed up Nafany is. He's just looking to cause chaos. He'll be able to not only hear sound cues if anyone starts loudly rotating through, but also perhaps even close the door behind Nico's ramp push. Bombs in mid with them. Hunter and Jax working on their project there. Hunter's used this smoke to set up. Hobbit's holding it. He hears him. Oh, full commit in the smoke. Hunter just about gets the best of them. But that's not for long, and that was the healthy man. Nice catch, Jax. One of the bodies dropped. It's all on Axile's triple. And now Nico. Yeah, Nafany may be the highest rated player for G2. Nico, highest rated player in the tournament so far, and that's the end of that. Nafany wins the head-to-head. He'll take the weapon upgrade, and we are going to see this gap close fast.
Oof, money again, not there for a G2 buy. They will have to take a save here, and those multi-kills that we were talking about, there was only 5 of them in the first half. For that of Gambit, they've quickly changed that conversation, right? If I do some quick maths here, let me have a little bit of a look. Well, they've more than doubled it. I'm not going to do the quick maths on air, but they have at least 11 or 12 at this point. So they were at 5. They're now looking very, very good. Opening kills are coming their way, getting a lot of conversions here. If I just flick through the opening rounds, on the T half, they found the openings in every single round bar 1. So things are really changing right now for this Gambit conversation.
I did want to highlight that Shiro Axile setup. Like when he's holding the underpass like that, as soon as he gets that tight line and he pulls the trigger, Axile has a perfect sound cue, whether it's verbal or otherwise, to just swing out and catch anyone trying to push past on the wide swing.
Yeah, they've got these little wombo combos, right? They're always playing off of each other, teeing each other up. Now, we do see the light pistol upgrade here from G2, so they can stay competitive, but they'd love a plant. That has been one of the problems. When you take a look at the scores on the doors, in the last 3, there has not been a single bomb plant going down, and trying a smoke gimmick there, Nico walks through, immediately punished by Hobbit. You're going to have to try some of these plays when you don't have a lot of utility, and you're hoping your early nades towards this mid-control has drawn eyes elsewhere. Not the case. Hobbit too aware.
Nexus Deagle's just taken down the AWP, though. Nafany.
Ooh, Hunter.
Does retreat.
That wasn't long-lived, was it?
Gave it everything he had. All right, well, that'll be Gambit posting at the 11th. G2 unable to do too much in terms of financial damage. And what is that in terms of consecutive Gambit rounds? 5 from the best.
Could say in the West, but I guess not really in the West.
No, and best in CIS as well. Not really acceptable either, so...
Yeah, well... This is an
world number 1.
Yeah, that works.
There we go.
That one definitely lands.
Let's off in a hole with best.
Okay, different approach here. Looking more like it's going to be a heavy A-lean. They're still feigning all this mid-control with the U2 you're seeing lobbed out right now. Amanek and Nexa are fast towards Connector. More pace on this one.
Certainly is, yeah. I like the look of this. Nexus to try and contest. They've got a bit of Presence Palace as well. Nafany surely has to respect that incendiary. And oh my god, nearly 2 from Hobbit. They want to force the issue here. Amanek, oh, just waited for him. Nafany knocks his head off his shoulders. They do have Nico into the site. The flash is great. He's still alive though, and It's Nexus to shut him down. Now we're talking for G2.
Oh.
Shiro surging forward. He catches a glimpse and knocks him off the boost. Oh, Shiro's having a round. And this one, just a formality. Hunter, you got 10 HP. He knows it. Still able to find at least one. But Gambit, they call upon Shiro, and that flick, the triple boost, not an easy shot to hit. But he comes alive, he activates upon the death of Nafany.
Yeah, you don't often see Shiro getting stuck in like that. Normally he's sitting back waiting for the opportunities to come to him. Here he's taken the fight to G2, and we're starting to see a little bit of flair come out of the Gambit side now. They were on toast no matter what happened there. Axel was already in spawn while all of this was going on off around the world, but great stuff from Shiro. And this one has cooled off in a big way. G2 needs some individual prowess to step on up. Hunter into a Galil. It's only with Kevlar, no head armor behind it. Amanek selling a B fake on his lonesome here, and he does have 3 players looking his way. Hobbit is going to have a lot to do on A right now.
They'd have to go now, and they do. Nafany, oh, no frag, just tag. Hobbit falls as well. That's the 2 frags they needed. Compulsory frags delivered. CT is going to be such a threat, though. They don't have a smoke to drop. Like, how are you supposed to get the bomb down? You'd need something to work out on the Deagle department.
Back.
They could try. Ooh, nice movement. Nico not so lucky, burnt out. Problems now. Another one lost. Hunter unable to retreat. Amanek was previously dipping his toe into B. Looks like that'll be Nex's location, and perhaps they could shape something up here.
There's a rifle on the ground that Amanek could pick up, and he is going to find the timing here. So in that smoke, there is the rifle from Nafany's body. He's found that, and he's behind 2 of them.
Yeah, this has legs here. They just looked away. They just looked away. He strikes for both. This is what G2 needed. Amanek comes in with a superstar double. Bomb going down. Axel disconnected from the pack. He cannot contest from there. Oh, of all the rounds, it's Amanek's perfectly timed flank. Pulled around the map. Nexa managing to get away from that ramp molly. And now the clock ticks in their favor, baby. That will be 14. And finally, we get to see a G2 round posted. It took them 6 attempts into the blue wall of Gambit.
Of course, it's the pistols to get it done, isn't it? Of course. I know that it's Amanek picking up that rifle, but that was all brought on by the rotations they forced right there. Nafany did a lot of damage, but he just couldn't convert a frag. And Hobbit, again, just one. Difference maker would have been the double. Gambit responded in time. They dealt with the pressure. They dissuaded them from the A finish. But the rotation was forced, and now G2 just 2 rounds away here from picking up their map choice. Vertigo waiting in the wings for map number 2, and Gambit, they're going to throw that final timeout onto the clock to discuss how will they finish this half. 4 more rounds of play. We'll have to go all 30 if Gambit want to win it here in regulation. G2 just need 1 to secure that overtime. And 1 more round, well, it's not going to be enough to completely break that bank of Gambit, so it's not really going to matter in that regard. They're going to have to go up against rifles.
I know Shiro is the AWPing component within a tier 1 system, but he gets to live a very different lifestyle, doesn't he?
Isn't
like,
it?
Just seeing him always have 5 grand in the bank with an AWP already equipped, it's just a real... Yeah, he's living a VIP lifestyle.
When they go out, I'm sure he's not paying for meals.
Yeah.
He leaves his wallet at home. Someone else is definitely picking up the tab.
No, but yeah, when they walk into restaurants, though, he's the one waiting in the car until they've made space.
You have a table, right?
Yeah, table secured. Come on in.
All right. Mid feint yet again. Nafany taking a lot of space here. He can confirm mid clear. There's going to be a flash coming out from his teammates to do exactly that. Need to rotate back over towards A quickly because set up are G2. Nexa continues to sell that B fake, but it's definitely A.
Definitely A. Hobbit gonna have to descend the ladder. He wants to live on. Looks like Nico's been legged. He could catch some flak from the nade. Oh, he does get tagged down from the shrapnel. Still alive. Still kicking. Jack's quite the opposite. Shiro neutralizes the wide swing, and it seems like that's taken a little bit of the pace out of this from G2. Shiro tags up his teammate, I think. Actually just on the edge of the smoke, and it's enabled Nico to hit the wall bang. Burnt down to a crisp, eventually finishing the job, but G2 aren't done. Yeah, you said, look at Nafany, he is on the flank. I'm sure it won't be considered at this stage in the game. It's still 60 seconds on the clock, and they're already going to have contact. Amanek,
oh, what?
He actually hits it. Neutralizes the threat. Not even a no-scope. He gets his eye to it just in time. And now they can pause. Take your time, because that was about to be a round ender. Take your time.
This is crazy. They're rotating all the way back over towards B. Axel can beat them there, but there's still 40 seconds left on the clock. You mentioned time, plenty of it for G2.
He's got a smoke. They'll have to run through grey screen if he does deploy it.
It's just, are they going to go with the pace here? They don't have any nades left of their own, and Axel would hope that he can get into a close position towards that site. He's worried that somebody's come in during all of this rotation. You can see all the corners that he's having to clear.
Okay.
He's on his own. There's no rotation close. Shiro is miles away towards connector. Intis is still over towards A. It's all on Axel.
15. Denying the plant is primary objective here. Lots of sound cues. Found. Oh, Nexa neutralizes. This looks like 15. Saved by the Bell, saved by the Amanek. Shutdown. Nafany was there in a 4v3. And just like that, momentum shifts. Again, G2 now looking like 15 is a guarantee.
It looks like Shiro's hanging around here to try and do a bit of damage, but we were talking about all the extra cash. Yeah, sure, he has it, but not everybody on his team does, so he cannot go down here. He'll be required to drop a gun in the next, but this is secured right now. And the fact it literally comes down to the fight with Amanek and Nafany. We were looking at Amanek's POV. He wasn't looking that direction until the very last second. Okay, well, Shiro is going to take the AWP out of Amanek's hands. Hunter can pick that one up. They are doing damage here, just a little bit of financial woes, but all in all, that's 15 on the board, and now it will be 3 consecutive rounds required just to take Gambit to overtime here. Gambit are looking like they're in a bit of hot water right now. No more saves out of them. They will need to start going for some of these retakes.
Didn't manage to save that AWP. The bomb blast just pushing it a little too far away from Hunter's sticky fingers. But yeah, G2, they've got 4 rounds, and they've had to work damn hard for them on this second half. All the hard work on their first has translated them into an opportunity. 3 opportunities, in fact, to take their map pick here. No gap in the smoke. Nafany has a glance, and the run boost should be impossible for Shiro to have the info on Jax just yet.
Oh,
Axel, what are you up to?
He's missed.
Take a pot shot, has to retreat. Understandably so. Nexa surging forward, a moth to the flame. Nade on the nose, not too much damage to report. They're up mid. 3 players of G2 starting their crawl. And smoke's going to start to fade here. Amanek, you got the bomb on your back. Jax alongside for the ride.
Oh, this timing is impeccable.
Just as they looked away, just as they maneuver away.
An open runway.
Yeah, Hobbit's a tucked-in sandwich. Look at this, completely contact. Nafany's still staring the wrong way. They don't have a clue. Shiro's going to have a look. This could be perfectly timed. Spots one. This is it. He should go down. This is a chance for G2, the biggest one. They can't let this slip. Up against Gambit. Nico caught sleeping. They both walked into it. 3 frags in a matter of seconds. Jax low 2. Trying to recover. Bomb down. They're scrambling now. Hunter on low HP. He's going to have to apply his trade with the AWP. Axel up from connector. Oh boy, oh boy. 35.
They're not doing it again. Hunter's going all the way back around to B one more time. They've already pulled this trick off twice. They might get away with it a 3rd time. Jax is still on the site completely selling this. Nafany and Axel are not aware of this at all. Yeah, okay. Hunter's getting into B for free.
Yeah, this is actually amazing. Jax is just going to sell this just by existing. Couple of jiggles, a couple of bullets. Didn't spot anyone.
Oh, Jax might get Nafany here. The timing on this.
It's very close. Hunter to plant. Uncontested. Nafany's already through market. Hunter cannot die. If he dies immediately, careful. Careful.
Definitely spotted.
Definitely, and it's going to be a freebie for Nafany. Does he run for the defuse?
Did it.
No kit. It'll be a 10-seconder. Jax is going to have to run. It's not planted for him.
I think he's saving.
He's just saving it out.
Oh my God, what a round. What an absolute round right there. That Hobbit double as well was gifted to him. Nico's in his crosshair. The second player drops in. And that same trick again. The same trick again. Nafany, this time you fool him twice. Is not getting away with that 3rd time. Oh, it's so close.
I thought they had it, dude. Oh, man. Jax going CT as well. Like, if the timing's just a little different, he catches that tail of Nafany crawling.
Oof. Well, we go again. Nico into a creek here. The SG's out. There's no AWP for Amanek, even though there was cash to do so. So with the rifle setup, let's see if they go heavy back towards this A split. Looks likely out top mid. Shiro's found Hunter. That's a freebie right there. 4v5 early.
Doesn't this just reek of overtime? Oh, yeah. Bit flustered now.
Feeling the pressure.
Nice dink, though. Hobbit trying to collect. Nico's Krieg, very good for this fight. He should be able to find another if they challenge. They did. And a flurry of frags. G2 just taking duels and winning them. Shiro, it's only Shiro. Amanek's found another as well on the rifle. Nico and Amanek double frag galore. Nothing for Shiro now. Bomb ticking. Oh, his chances dwindle with every passing second. They go wide and G2 will take it. Hard fought. Gambit solid resistance, but exploited. Sensational first half. And G2 pull it across the line in the second. 16-13. Vertigo next. And G2 one map away from the semi-finals.